Today's video is all about the books that I brought with me to the UK. So yes, my suitcase was quite heavy, as we will see. So without further ado, here are the books. Now, I love Christopher Isherwood. I've read a couple of his books, but I want to read everything that he's ever written, pretty much. So that's why I brought these. So I got Pray to Violet, The Memorial, A Meeting by the River, and Christopher and His Kind. And I've got some Toni Morrison because I still haven't read The Bluest Eye, but I'm certain that I'm going to enjoy and appreciate this novel. And also it is teeny tiny, so really didn't have any excuse not to bring this. The next one was written by one of my colleagues. This is a collection of short stories called No Relation, but it's got this really creepy cover. Apparently this is a sort of plaster of Paris thing to make a mask. And then this is a breathing straw. I think it's really discomforting. Anyway, I'm looking forward to reading those stories. Then I brought one of my favourite novels, which is Brideshead Revisited. This is the cover that I designed for it. I also brought this because it's an example of my work that's been mocked up into a book. So you can see underneath it's got the rather horrible TV tie-in edition. So that's why I made a new cover for it. If I can't find a cover that I really like for books, then I will find a second-hand edition and design my own cover for it. Then we have a graphic memoir by Alison Bechdel. I've read Are You My Mother and absolutely loved it, and most people say that this one is even better. This is her first memoir, Fun Home. Then there's another book that I'm certain I'm going to enjoy. It's The Shadow of the Wind by Carlos Ruiz Zafón. This is the rather beautiful Penguin drop caps edition. This is my favourite of the drop caps, this illustration. I just love it because books. Then we have Lucky Jim by Kingsley Amis, another rather small one. This is a classic, as the cover would suggest. It's set at a university, and as you all know, I love university novels. Speaking of university novels, it's one of my favourite books of all time, maybe my absolute favourite book of all time, The Secret History by Donna Tartt. This is not the copy that I read originally. That one is still in New Zealand because it's a much nicer copy. I do want to reread it because it's my favourite. Then we have Oranges Are Not the Only Fruit by Jeanette Winterson. This I read on the plane, so it is one of the books here that I finished. I really enjoyed this. I've mentioned that in my May wrap-up. I'm really glad about that because I brought some other Jeanette Wintersons. It was a bit of a gamble because I wasn't 100% sure if I was going to enjoy her writing, but I did, so it paid off. I've got Written on the Body and The Passion, which has got such a great cover. Oh my goodness. I have no idea what chickens and roosters have to do with the story, but I'm really intrigued to find out. Then, the book that of course I had to bring with me because this is my travel guide. This is my guide to bookshops in London and anywhere else that I go in the UK and further abroad. Jen Campbell has already done half the work for me when it comes to finding work in a bookshop. Anyway, that was pretty much a given that that was going to go in my suitcase. Another one that is pretty much a given. You might not think so because it's a huge book and I have already read it, but I couldn't bear to leave it behind. It's A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara, and I so want to read this again. Also, I think and hope that we are going to do some sort of discussion, sort of video conferencey thing with people on YouTube who've read this. I've spoken to a few people about maybe doing that. If you're still keen, comments section. It's a bit easier to discuss things on Twitter. You know who you are. And finally, the last book that was in my suitcase that has come all the way from New Zealand. This is Penguin by Design by Phil Baines. This is all about book design, so right up my alley. I just love this book. Couldn't leave it behind. I have quite a number of book design books. This was the most practical to bring and also one of my favourites. It's just great. It goes through Penguin designs over the years. I love seeing all the pretty prints and all the funky colours and the spines. Oh my goodness. So those are the books that I brought with me. Rather a large stack. It's a few kilos there. There we are. Anyway, thank you very much for watching and I will hopefully see you next time. Bye.